Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I don't think I've done a reading for you before. I do so many I can't always remember. Um, but I like to explain. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind because you'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. Go, oh, I know what he's talking about. And this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. And they won't give me all the details. They'll give me just enough so you should understand what he's talking about. And I just thought it was best to refund that one part of the money because I don't feel right taking it for something not that intense. Actually, I'm probably not going to ask for money for that anymore. But we'll see if we get it included in this reading. He comes in singing very softly. He comes in walking in real slow and singing very softly. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. He's almost humming it. It's singing. He's singing the words, but it's almost like a little hum. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take that sunshine away. So go YouTube, Google the words of that song. There's stuff in there for you, but it's mainly just the verse he's referring to. So you should hear like a humming, you probably won't hear the words to it because he's doing it over and over and over. So you should hear a little humming, like a sing-song hum. I don't know how to describe it. Usually you will only hear it in one ear, and sometimes we have telepathic ears up here. So you could just kind of hear it in your head. Know that that'll be a sign from him. Whenever he leaves you a sign, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. And then that kind of opens up like little floodgates once he figures out that you understand his signs. now here, he's still doing it. So, okay. All right. Tell her I love her. Tell her I love her. Knick knack paddywhack. Give a dog a bone. I don't know if he used to play that. I think there was a thing like that with it. He used to play that with you or say that to you. I'm trying to get him on the same line here with me. I don't know what he's showing me. It's like a cloud of smoke. It's not like it's coming off of a campfire. It's almost like it's a cloud, but it's smoke. You're gonna have to see if I get him to clear it up. I don't know any other way to describe it. It looks like a darker cloud, but it looks like it's like low to the ground. But it feels more like smoke. I don't know if you've had something on fire recently. That it doesn't.
Here's your reminder. Say good morning.
Alexa wants to talk.
Here's your reminder. Say good morning.
Here's your reminder. Say good morning. Anything that happens while I'm doing a reading is for you. So he's telling you good morning. You could tell him good morning every morning if you want to. Wake up, go, good morning, Grandpa. How are you today? And see what little signs, see what maybe the next song comes on the radio or what happens on the TV in the next minute or so, what pops up on Facebook that would instantly make you think of him. It truly works that way. Once people realize that a whole lot of these things they're seeing are signs, it's really cool. We just don't realize what they are. He's asking about a ship in the ocean. He says, how about that ship in the ocean? So I don't know if they don't always explain. Sometimes he'll just say a word. That's just the way it works. He's actually showing me a ship out in the ocean. It looks like when I went to Galveston, Texas, and could see those ships way out there, hanging out, waiting to come in. So I don't know if you live someplace like that. He did. You've been someplace like that recently, or you're dreaming of doing that. How about that? But he asked it like a question. Maybe you have somebody in the Navy. I know that sounds a little vague, and I hate being vague. He's singing You Are My Sunshine again. He says you accepted him the way he was. Laid back, comfy. He says he didn't give a rat's ass about most stuff. And you were fine with that. You never, now that's funny. We're talking about ships, and ALEXA just popped up and said, I have 2 shipments coming in today. Shipments. Ship. Don't know how that relates. It's not for me to know. Presents! Have to get myself presents. Nobody else does. So anyway, back to the smoke. It doesn't look like campfire smoke. It doesn't look like a house on fire. It just looks like a freaking cloud of smoke. So you should be able to smell. I can't even smell it though. Usually when they do something, I've never seen it like this. I'm not sure what to do with it. Usually when there's smoke, I'll know whether it's cigarette smoke, cigar, something like that, but not getting it. He says, I don't know if it's just one person or several people that used to call him Shitty Smitty as a joke, laughing. Not in a cruel way. He's laughing. He's slapping his knee. He thought it was hilarious. He kind of goes like that, don't bother me. I am what I am. And I'm fine with that. Said there's people around, and I feel like he's talking about family, that they were not fine with it. And he didn't care. You accepted him the way he is. And the old gal, he's talking about your mom. And then he shows this great big red heart. Perfect. She's perfect. Made my life perfect. Even though it didn't look like it on the outside, to him it was perfect on the inside. And to hell with those that didn't think so. Tell her I love her. She has felt him up close to her. And it's hard for me to describe because everybody feels energy different. And when we're gone, we're pure energy because we don't have this heavy body anymore. But it's like when somebody walks into the room and you don't hear them, you don't see them, you feel them. You feel them walk into the room. You're actually feeling their energy. And he's kind of standing back here. It's like she has felt him like just that close around her. It's like a change in the air pressure. Or you could feel like a big bubble pushing against you. Or sometimes you'll get warm in that area. Bob usually makes my ear turn bright red and burn like hell, which he hasn't done lately. I don't know where he skated off to. So it's just that feeling like somebody's there and you turn around. And I was in a bar one time and I felt somebody, come up over here and I turned and looked. There's nobody there. But on the right side of me, a girl walked up and ordered Blue Moon beer, which means is a big sign for me. So I knew who it was, if that makes sense. And for some reason, he's wanting me to explain that. So at the time that you feel something in the room, look at the TV, radio, Facebook, I don't know, whatever, your phone might pop up something, whatever correlates like a confirmation, then you know who it is. Then you'll know if it's him. He says he is in your house. There's also a grandfather in your house. I don't almost feel like it's his dad, but I'm not 100%. That has been in your house, and that's who you've seen or whoever it was that saw something in your house. He's walking down the hall. Usually when you see somebody, when you see them, I can see them head on, face to face. But most of the time people see them in the peripheral vision out here, and you'll see something out of the corner of your eye and see it walk. And you turn your head and there's nothing there. So you just think it's your imagination. It's not. Most of the time it's not. So know that your dad and grandpa, I think it's your grandpa, not his grandpa, are both very strong presence in your home. That's a good thing. When I go and cleanse people's houses, and this one girl, she had this ungodly amount of stuff in her house, and they were all fun loving. There was nothing evil, except for the one that kept trying to push us. But there was 4 grandparents. I mean, she had a shit ton of people in her house. Spirit. So we leave the 4 grandparents because they're a protector. They're safe. If your grandparent was an asshole, you still might want them to leave because sometimes they're still an asshole even when they get there. So as long as, see if we can figure out who this grandpa is. He's definitely associated with your dad. He's got a close connection with your dad. So it's either your grandpa or his grandpa. So I don't recommend removing anybody like that because they're there to check on you and make sure you're safe. So the next time you think you feel something, you feel like that song somebody's watching you. Hey, hi guys, how you doing? Glad to see you. Nice to know you're here. I feel safer with you here. Again, he says, I love you. He's showing, how little, and I usually ask him not to show stuff when you're real little and won't remember, but hopefully you're big enough. Like when you sit on somebody's foot and a little kid sits on an adult's foot and they swing their foot up and down and bounce you. That's usually pretty small when they do that, but that's a memory for him that he cherishes. He mentions a pony. I don't know if you had one when you were a kid. and then ponytail. But he's talking about the two different things. I have no clue what you look like. Did you used to have a ponytail that he pulled? He'd kind of pull on it when you go by. I hear a baby crying. Your baby crying. There's a woman walking in with a baby. Don't know that she's associated with this grandpa, but she feels like a grandma. She's carrying this baby in. So don't know for sure if it's your grandma or his grandma. She's kind of stepping off to the side, so I'm not sure that she's actually related to your to your grandpa. Yeah, she's not saying. She has this baby. She's loving this baby. And I see this a lot when when our soul leaves when we're little, there's somebody there to care for that. They also come in sometimes and hold them. They're holding them before they come here. Yeah, as far as dreams and visitations, I've had one or maybe two real visitations. And of course, I talk to them all the time anyway. They don't need to do that. But you know how you wake up from a dream and it just kind of starts to fade? You know, as soon as you open your eyes, a true visitation. Mine was 7, 8 years ago. I still remember everything that was said, every color, every picture on the wall, just just like it's crystal clear. And I had the worst memory in the world, and I don't remember any dreams. Still crystal clear this much later. That's it. You can remember what color shoestrings they had. That's a true visitation. He says he has been popped. Is it your mom you asked about? He has popped in and out of her dreams. He just beep, like real quick, psst, there and out. He's not saying why he's doing that. And she may not remember most of them. So as far as the visitation, yes. And then these other ones are just like little, psst, just in and out. I don't think he's there long enough that she's going to remember. Don't know exactly what the purpose of that is. Or or maybe he's just figured out he could do it. Okay, he's talking about sliding his feet on the floor. Like, I wouldn't call them house slippers, but he doesn't have boots on. There's some kind of a, what the hell do I want to call them? Like, kind of like a house shoe, just something comfy. But he's sliding them when he walks. So you should hear this. And normally it's not when you're in the same room. Usually it's after you walk out of a room and you might just be clear on the other side of a room or zoned out on the TV or something, and you'll hear this kind of a shuffle. He's sliding them though, but they're not, like I said, they're not boots. And it'll be very, very soft. And I always ask them, don't scare the heck out of people. And people think their houses are haunted. Again, When you hear this, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more signs. If you want more signs, that's your free will choice, whether or not you want to do that. I love you. He's showing you much younger, but he's sitting in a chair. Show it again. It's almost like you're outside. It almost looks like lawn chairs. And he's patting the chair next to him and he says, "Come here, sit beside me. Get over here. Come here, sit beside me. Tell me all your problems. Talk to me." So I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you, he can see you. Talk to him. He can hear you. You don't have to talk out loud. We can talk telepathic. Everybody can. When you have a problem, talk it out with him and ask him for help. What would he have been good at helping you with when he was here? Working on something, just listening to you. He says giving you hugs. Reassuring you, making you feel better. Talk to him. Tell him this is my problem, blah blah blah. Can you help? And then just give him some time and watch for somebody out of the blue is going to call you that's going to be help with this, or some door will open, something will come into your path. If it's in your highest good, if it's what you're supposed to be doing on your life path. You know how you look back and things that you begged for, some guy that you begged for, blah blah blah, and you didn't get it, and you look back and go, yeah, well, that wasn't a good choice. I'm glad I didn't get it. So see, it works that way. But if it's something that you're supposed to be, that asking for help, and if he can't do it, he can find somebody up there who can. He's wanting you to wash your hair, get all prettied up, put a little makeup on, somehow lifting your vibe, making you feel better, making you feel good, and turn on the music in your house and dance like nobody's watching. It might sound crazy. Everything I do is crazy. Turn the lights on, lighten the room up, make yourself where you feel pretty. And you don't have to feel pretty. It's more important about feeling pretty on the inside than it is the outside. And crank the music up to something lively, upbeat, and just dance around your house. It lifts your vibe. He's singing "You Are My Sunshine" again. It, like, I go into some people's houses and all the shades are drawn and everything's so dark, and he wants you to open the blinds, turn the lights on, crank the music up. Make yourself where you feel pretty. And when you do all this, then you'll feel pretty on the inside too. Put a smile on your face, he says. You're beautiful. Ornery, but beautiful. And he's showing, I'm assuming this is with you. I see a young child. Keeps going back to when you were really young. I don't know how long he's been gone. And the little bitty teacups, like we get for the little kids, little plates and little cups and little saucers. And he's drinking out of one of those with a small child. He says, I'm not afraid. I'm not too manly. I can sit there and play with the little kids' dishes and have a great time. I don't feel like this child is. Is there a little girl with kind of long curly blonde hair? Wavy, I should say wavy blonde hair. Small children and animals can see them and hear them. He's playing with somebody. Some small young girl. And oh gosh, I hate to judge ages. 3, 4, 5. That he's sitting there drinking out of these little cups with. And she's totally interacting with him because she totally sees him and knows him. And everybody, whether they remember or not, has had an imaginary friend when we were little. And they weren't imaginary. And then when they get to be about 9 or 10, then they realize, society's gonna poo-poo me if I say, hey, I can see this person, I can see that person, and they start to shut it down. And of course, my parents would, they go, stop talking like that. You can't quit talking about your imaginary friend. And then we shut it down because, we're told we're not supposed to. So when they're little, they don't have that. There's innocence still, and they totally connect with them. So whoever has this little girl, she's really pretty. He's definitely playing with her, interacting with her. He's very safe with her, or she's very safe with him, I should say. And she's very comfortable with him. And he's kind of melting around her. He would do anything she asked. He's very sweet around her. I have a check that was sent to me. He drew my eyes to it and he says, your check's coming, your check's coming. It's coming. I don't know if he's talking about like the stimulus coming in. You got some money coming in. He's not saying how much, so it could just be the stimulus check they're supposedly gonna send us. Go out and buy you something pretty. Something just for you. And now he's spraying he's like spraying perfume. Like he wants you to go out and spend some money on some perfume, something that smells pretty, something that makes you feel girly. Or maybe there's been some that you wanted and you couldn't afford it, or didn't feel like you should spend money on it. He says, go ahead and do it when the check comes in. Trying to get him, give me another sign. Now, he's not giving me any more signs, but your mom will definitely feel him. She has felt him. Him and this other grandpa type. I realize he's your grandpa, so I'm guessing it might be his grandpa. Could be your mom's grandpa. Could be his dad. I don't know. Anyway. So you got that. The cloud, whatever the heck that was. And then the shoe sliding across the floor. He says once you get those and you realize those are signs from him and that he's actually there, then it kind of, once you validate him, Kind of opens a floodgate, and then you start getting more if you want them. Totally up to you. He's moving around in the kitchen. Where he's going. Thought he was going to go out the back door. Then he's going like, do you have a garage that is attached to your house? Don't know if it's your house or not. He went through the kitchen, started for the back door, then he went out into what looks like a garage, but it looks like it's attached to the house. And he's tinkering around out there. So I don't know if he spent a lot of time tinkering around the garage. He's messing around with tools. So whoever's house this is, they should probably hear the door open and shut, maybe. He's not saying for sure, but definitely the clinking, the tinkering around with tools, the moving stuff around in the garage, the being attracted to that area, comfortable in that area. It's like he's totally at home there. So whoever's house this is, they might watch for things to kind of move around in the garage, like they go out there and there's a wrench sitting somewhere, and the next time they go out it's turned or fallen on the floor. And it doesn't have to be a wrench. I'm just giving an example. I'm kind of muttering this morning. Know that I'm always there for all of you, watching out for you, sending my love to you. I appreciate you more than you know. He just came up and gave me a hug. He says, I love you. Life should be more laid back. We make it harder than it should be. Go dance. He wants you to go get pretty and go dance. Go buy that perfume. And you may not be a girly girl, but he says, I love you, and he's leaving. Okay, my dear. Thank you very much. I know it took me a couple more days more days than it should have. But I kind of got slammed with a whole bunch of them, like 2 days in a row, just like whoof. And everybody paid the extra. So working on my list, and I just didn't feel like I should charge you for the other. It's wouldn't be fair. So much love to you. Watch for those signs. He's definitely around there. Him and this grandpa type figure. Definitely very safe with them. So don't be scared. There's nothing scary that I see. And as long as they're there, they wouldn't let anything scary get in there anyway. They know how to stop anything weird like that. And most of the time, like I said, when I go to somebody's house, it's like, okay, grandma's here. Don't be scared just because she's letting you know she's here. It's not all paranormal. Because I deal with a lot of paranormal stuff too. Okay, much love to you. Thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved one. Later.